If an old-fashioned was a song, it would be Let It Be from the Beatles. Everyone knows it, some people love it, others just like it, nobody really hates it. They just don't like hippies. But that's another conversation. If you don't like hippies, hit the subscribe button. That's a joke. On the day of shooting this video, the flock is 125 drinkers big. And that's more than last week, so what is the old-fashioned? A spirit, a sweetener, bitters, and some waters in a rocks glass. To be more precise, bourbon, sugar, Angostura, ice water, added by stirring. So even though the name old-fashioned came to life late in the 1800s, the drink itself was already well established under the word cocktail. In 1881, Louisville, Kentucky claims to have invented the old-fashioned. And as you might know, that's the bourbon whiskey Walhalla. Angel's Envy, Michter's, Jim Beam, Rabbit Hole, and so much more. They all live there. But bourbon is called America's native spirit. And 95% of bourbon is made in Kentucky. So people often think bourbon has to be made in Kentucky, and that's not true. But it has to be made in the United States of America, and it has to be made at least from 51% corn. It's all a little bit more complicated than that, but you get the gist. Just like I told you in the mint julep video. So as I said, Louisville claimed to have invented the old-fashioned, and that is why it's the official drink of the city. And somebody decided at some point that they should throw a party to celebrate Louisville as the birth city of the old-fashioned. The party starts the 1st of June, birthday, every year, and ends on the official National Bourbon Day, which is indeed 2 weeks later, on the 14th of June. So why is it named the old-fashioned? Because, what I think, bartenders started to do all these things they do, and patrons were not always into it. So they ordered their drink just the old-fashioned way after the bartender was trying to explain all these guests new drinks and cool techniques. Ain't nobody got time for your progressive jingle jangle, son. Give me that thing you made me last time, the old-fashioned way, you little rascal. And then why is it still on the top of all the best-selling cocktails ever since? Because it's an easy drink to reproduce without a lot of fancy tools, and it's freaking delicious. It's easy to make at home. Restaurants, dive bars can make it. It's hard to screw up, yet it happens. Here's a video from a couple weeks ago while I was flying to Atlanta. Yeah, not the best old-fashioned. So after showing you my preferred old-fashioned recipe, so I'm going to tell you why your old-fashioned is garbage. Reason number one, you are using sugar cubes as your sweetener. Use rich gum syrup. Gum adds a bunch of texture to your drink and will make the flavors linger way longer than any other sweetener. And if that's too much to ask, just at least use syrup. Simple syrup, 1 part sugar, 1 part water, throw it in a blender, easy. 2, you are stirring your drink in the glass you're serving it in. Don't stir it in the glass. Stir your drink in a different vessel, and then you get the glass and you use fresh ice and you pour it in the glass so your ice is fresh and new and not wet and not already melting. 3, you're using fridge ice. Fridge ice is cloudy, it's full of impurities and there's air trapped in it, so it's not good for mixing drink. Try to use nice clear ice cubes and try to use a big cube in your glass. Get some good ice to stir those drinks and get some good ice to put them in there. 4, you're muddling an orange and a crappy cherry in your glass. Don't muddle fruit in your glass. If you really want fruit, just garnish it with an orange wedge and an Amarena cherry. So if you have a Savage, you'll like get this whatever, uses something to get it in there, but most of the people don't want that. And then 5, you're using an 80 proof bourbon. Don't be scared to use a higher proof bourbon so it keeps the bite after stirring the drink down. Lots of people add too much water to their stirred drinks and it makes the drinks lame. 100 proof or up from now on. And that's all I got. Keep flying, gang, and remember, birds of a feather drink together.